Americans are up in arms to ensure that there is no foreign influence in our elections. Well, one way to ensure that only Americans vote in our elections is to have voter ID laws. Well, to Democrats and my Congresswoman Mad Maxine Waters, that would be discriminatory and racist, to ensure that a person is who they say they are and that they're an American citizen. Seems like foreign influence is perfectly fine as long as that influence votes Democrat. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. Well, contrary to what your liberal friends and most Democratic candidates tell you, there are many states that require zero forms of identification for you to contribute to one of the pillars of our republic, voting. Now, this may sound insane because it is, and the reasoning behind not requiring IDs for something you can only do legally when you're 18 and a citizen is equally insane. But it is to be expected when it's almost exclusively Democrats that fight tooth and nail to ensure that there's no laws on the books. And their argument is simple. It's racist and discriminatory. We'll take my Congresswoman Mad Maxine Waters, who spoke out against North Carolina's new laws. She said, quote, "North Carolina's gone crazy," unquote. Sure, Maxine, I guess our elections are less important than your town hall meetings where you require IDs. That seems discriminatory to me. She goes on to compare these laws to the civil rights movement, where she says, quote, "Many of the same issues we faced in the 50s and 60s remain with us today," unquote. Really? So it's racist? Because to me, I think any minority person is perfectly capable of applying and receiving the most basic form of identification to do anything in the US. Even a 14-year-old in some states can get a permit in the United States, and you're telling me it's too much to expect when everyone has a smartphone, everyone has access to a public library, that no one can figure out how to apply for an ID? The same ID you need to show to buy beer, tobacco, get insurance, or buy fireworks and spray paint in certain states? Are you joking me? That sounds like the bigotry of low expectations. She goes on to say, quote, "Now we have the right-wing Republicans that are pushing restrictive voter ID legislation in states around the country that'll make it more difficult for us to make our voices heard," unquote. Our voice? Which voices are being silenced? This is basically the easiest thing to do if you're an American citizen. So who could she possibly be talking about? Maybe it's the millions of undocumented voters in the United States. And the lowest estimate of illegal immigration in the United States to be 11.5 million, the high end over 30. Maybe it's the 6.2% of the total population of California. Oh, now it makes sense. And which states have the highest number of illegal immigrants? Well, that would be number 1, California, number 3, New York, and number 5, Illinois. The Democratic states that have zero laws. But you'll hear people say, but Ben, there are some Democratic states that request some form of identification. Yeah, let's just apply that line of reasoning to another situation. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? Excuse me? It's pronounced Zer. Oh, God, I miss Reagan. License and registration, please. I don't have one, but trust me, I do have insurance. I have a perfect driving record. I've never had a DUI. I'm from the state. This is my car. And by the way, I don't legally have to show you, so you got to take my word for it. Okay, have a nice day. Thanks, Democrats. I mean, really, how insane is that? Maybe it's just a coincidence that only Democrats claw tooth and nail to make sure that there's no voter ID laws. And maybe it's a coincidence that only 4% of illegal immigrants claim to be Republican. And maybe it's just a coincidence that the states in the 2016 election that went for Hillary, all of them had zero restrictions on voter ID or requested some form. The only state that has any law on the books that went Democrat was Virginia. One state. I think it's pretty clear who Democrats and my Congresswoman Maxine Waters are looking out for. They're looking out for their voters, their voting bloc. Because if they truly cared about foreign influence or not discriminating against people, forcing people to show IDs, then maybe they wouldn't require you to show ID to buy a beer or to attend one of their town hall meetings. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. And another fantastic news, you can now download the Rebel app and take me with you wherever you go to get exclusive content in the entire Rebel lineup.